Hi, I'm the Second Opinion, and I have sold out. Feels good. That's right. From now on, I'll be working with Channel Frederator. So if you like my stuff, be sure to check them out. There's some pretty cool people over there. But in the meantime, I'm sure you're wondering what that means for you, the viewers. Well, first of all, if any of you were worried about me deciding to jump ship or cut corners, you don't have to be anymore because this is what I do now. And it will be for as long as there's viewers to keep it going. But more importantly, this wouldn't have happened if not for you guys and all the support you've given me already. And I really think I owe you a thanks for that. So I've come up with a couple of ways I can give you one. First, I'm going to break my already bendable rule about sticking strictly to the show and the movies and review 2 stories for the more hardcore fans. And you get to pick what they'll be. So if you'd like to see me take the outside perspective to a comic book, a fan video, some fan fiction, as long as it's not a whole novel's worth, or anything else featuring the Friendship is Magic cast, please vote for it in the comment section. You get up to 2 votes. Every vote is worth the same no matter what. The runner-up will be reviewed in the near future, and the winner will be reviewed after I'm done with Season 4 sometime. The other thing I'm going to do is introduce a little segment I call Viewer Appreciation Corner, where I ask you guys to send me links to a video or a piece of fan art you've done relevant to this show. At the end of every month, I'll announce my picks for favorites in one of my reviews. And don't worry if you didn't create the content that particular month. Anything can win once. So if you'd like a little nod to the hard work you've done, please send it in. And with that said, let's get on with the review of For Whom the Sweetie Belle Toils. Okay, For Whom the Sweetie Belle Toils. In this episode, Sweetie Belle helps Rarity put together a costume for Sapphire Shores, the pop singer, who we really haven't seen in a long time, but she's still using Rarity as her fashion designer. So okay, Sweetie Belle helps put the costume together, and then she asks a favor in return. She wants Rarity to help design the costumes for a play that she put together by herself for she and her friends, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, to perform. And Rarity is really coming down to the wire on Sapphire Shore's costume already, a major pop singer. That's Rarity's most important project by far. But, okay, she still decides she's going to help out. She has the element of generosity, even though it's really, really going to make her project come down to the wire. So, yeah, she finishes Sweetie Belle's costumes on time, and then Sweetie Belle puts on the play, but the problem is that the costumes upstage everything else about it, everything Sweetie Belle did for it. I mean, she gets a standing ovation, she and her friends, but all anyone wants to talk about afterwards is the costumes, which kind of reminded me of that scene in Ed Wood, if you've ever seen that movie, where, he's the worst director of all time, and he's just finished a play, even though he was more known for movies, but yeah, before that he did plays, and he's just finished one that got scathing reviews all across the board, and everybody's down in the dumps for it, but he's reading the paper like, no, he's got some good things to say. Look, the costumes are very realistic. That's positive. Yeah, it's enough for Ed Wood anyway, but no, in this case it's enough for everyone. Rarity's costumes are just that good, and Sweetie Belle is furious, so she runs home, accuses Rarity of trying to upstage her on purpose, and then when Rarity doesn't get it, she moves on to accusing Rarity of always trying to steal the spotlight from her. She brings up her 5th birthday party, which we've never heard anything about before, but anyway, so yeah, Rarity tried to steal the spotlight from her there too, Sweetie Belle says. So finally, after Sweetie Belle stays up late, can't get to sleep, she decides that she's gonna get Rarity back by sabotaging the costumes she made for Sapphire Shores, by ripping the seam out of it, ripping a seam out of the headdress, which is critical for holding it together, and get Rarity fired or whatever she thinks is going to happen. So, okay, she goes to bed easy after that, and so it's up to Princess Luna to come into her dreams and show her the error of her ways, because Princess Luna, you might remember, happens to know a lot about having an older sister that she gets jealous of and she feels like upstages her. So, okay, a lot of points clashing with each other in this episode, but yeah, first I'll say that at this point I'm kind of resigned, at least for now, to thinking that the Sweetie Belle, who was my favorite Cutie Mark Crusader, is gone, because, yeah, this on top of Twilight Time, I I don't know what it is, if like they're trying to grow her up, or just, give her less childhood innocence and more teenage angst, but for whatever reason, it feels like they're trying to maybe take her in a different direction, and the problem there is it just really doesn't feel like it comes from the same character. Like, because this time around, Sweetie Belle is just so aggressively mean and petty and just, well, unfair, ungrateful. Because we established that, she knows how much trouble it was for Rarity to do this, and she was grateful when she was getting what she wanted, but then when she didn't, she just turns, like, vicious and just, wallowing in it so much. And I mean, Sweetie Belle, she would fight with Rarity before. She would get angry. She would even get, not petty, but just, still she would try to hurt Rarity in one way or another. But I mean, even then, part of the reason why I think she was my favorite Crusader to begin with was because, even then, it really seemed to just come from a genuine place. It really seemed to be a sincere sort of emotion in its own way. That just, like in Sisterhood Social when they fought, Sweetie Belle eventually got fed up with Rarity treating her like a nuisance, even though she was partly being one, but she was just trying to help. And so, when she started firing back, it was, okay, well, if you don't want me around, maybe I don't want you around either. And then when Rarity tried to apologize, she, Sweetie Belle still didn't forgive her. She was having too much fun with Applejack, but even then, what she was saying was that it wasn't like, ha, I bet you're really regretting it now. It was, no, you hurt me. I don't want to just go back to that, get some more of that. I'm happy where I am now. Maybe you should take cues from Applejack. And then when Rarity doesn't seem to get it, it's like, okay, Sweetie Belle, she doesn't accept her apology, but it's like she still can't let her go. You could tell that what she wanted underneath it all was to have a good relationship with her sister. And here it's like she wants lots of people praising her, and then when she doesn't get it, it's like it's not genuine, her reaction. It's not sincere. It's like she's lying to herself. Like, no, it's just somebody has to apologize to me for me not getting what I want, and just, turning really petty. It just did not feel like the same character. And, there is a point, though, when, she's so frustrated by it, she can't even sleep. She's punching her pillow, trying, and, getting a drink of water, and nothing's working. And, like, at that point, you start to remember whatever time it was for you, where just, you were so hopeful for something, you just had so much put into something, and you maybe thought you were going to get it, and then, it's taken away in a manner that feels just so unfair. It's like you can't even put your mind at ease to it. It's like, okay, they start to get that across, and then she sinks to an even lower low by, trying to sabotage the costume. It's like, just, no, okay, Rarity needs to pay. It's like, just, that is, okay, just keeps getting, like, right when, okay, it seemed like maybe you could understand her, it's, once again, she's just being a total brat. It's like, no, she is not having a reasonable reaction at all. She just, like, likes causing suffering, just likes being petty, is apparently what it is. So I'm kind of glad at this point that I don't mind sitting out the fandom, that, I don't mind just feeling sort of matter-of-fact about it, instead of feeling like running off to the nearest fan forum, like, no, Sweetie Belle should be portrayed like, arguing over it or whatever. But it is the impression I got, though, and I do think it's for the worse, so although it really doesn't seem to help her cause this time around, that the episode kind of makes stuff up to get it to work. I mean, like, the thing with the 5th birthday party, just, oh no, see, Sweetie Belle all this time has been jealous of Rarity every bit as much as she's admired her. Like, really? Just all this time, and we never even had a hint. It was totally there the whole time, and we never even noticed it a little bit, huh? I mean, if you ask the writers, I'm sure they'd tell you that it just never had a chance to heat up. Yes, Sweetie Belle was harboring those feelings, but nothing before now really encouraged them, and now they're pushed into the foreground. But I mean, the thing about that is they're didn't really seem to be any room for even that, for them to exist below the surface. Because, I mean, the whole relationship between Rarity and Sweetie Belle, on Sweetie Belle's end, I mean, yeah, we've seen it never seemed to revolve around admiration. And all the attempts we've seen from her to spend more time with her sister and get Rarity to appreciate her. I mean, it never seemed to be about impressing her. I mean, I think that each episode made it very clear what it's about. What she wanted was not admiration; it was affection. She wanted to, like, with the thing with the favors and Sisterhood Social, she said multiple times she wanted to make Rarity happy, and the when she wasn't, Sweetie Belle wasn't like defending what she did. No, look at what a good job I did. She was kind of hurt that it didn't work, that Rarity was upset instead. I mean, like I said, it seemed very genuine, very sincere. That's kind of what I liked about Sweetie Belle before. So, I mean, yeah, and it's not like also that she was in awe of Rarity. She wasn't I mean, she would manipulate her, she would borrow things without permission, but again, even, when she would do stuff like that, it was never out of contempt for Rarity. So, okay, yeah, just no matter what angle you look at it from, I mean, there was, even when she was kind of a brat before in her own way, there was sort of an innocence to it, just a good-natured sort of quality, and okay, that's just what I don't think leaves any room for this, she has been, not totally been sincere when, she said she liked spending all this time around Rarity, or that, she liked having Rarity do things with her. It never seemed to be about who was upstaging who. I mean, and she knew that Rarity was impressive, but, she never seemed to care about it much. It was, their whole relationship, it just seemed to be about, genuinely wanting to have good time with her sister. So, okay, I just don't see it. And I mean, even taking out the 5th birthday party, the fact that it just seems made up, they really don't show the progression in the present very well either. Because, I mean, I know that little kids, I mean, of course, they're not always rational. They are ruled by emotion sometimes. They do have their sort of internal logic that follows its own path. But, okay, the thing is, we don't see any of that progression, any of that internal logic leading her to decide that she's jealous of Rarity, or that she always feels upstaged by Rarity. She just sort of jumps to accusing Rarity of trying to upstage her, and then we see the internal logic for how Rarity must have been planning that and going about it, and by that point it just kind of seems stupid. I mean, I don't know, like if Sweetie Belle had maybe not known how to feel about it as far as Rarity's concerned, but just was harboring so much resentment in general that, okay, when she saw Rarity getting all of this praise, she eventually decided that she didn't want Rarity to shine either when both events were things they both worked on. Okay, like I could maybe understand something like that, but this just kind of seems like a big jump. It doesn't seem justified. It makes Sweetie Belle very unlikable, and it's kind of hard to feel for her. Like, even when we get to these dream sequences, and it's like, even there she can't escape. She dreams she's in the best moment of her life, winning an award for directing a play, and then a giant Rarity storm cloud comes in and ruins it all, and she's screaming, "Why do you always have to ruin everything?" Okay, even then, I'm not really feeling for her after what she's done. I'm like, no, I'm in fact against her there. I'm like, okay, I think that you really need to get over it, feeling entitled to harbor these feelings after everything Rarity did, and after you've just tried to sabotage the most important project of her life. So, I mean, then, while we're on the dream sequences too, this 5th birthday party, even when we see it, it seems kind of forced. Like, Sweetie Belle is taking forever to get ready because she wants to look extra special in these oversized shoes and this dress and lipstick smeared all over her face, which I will admit that was kind of cute. But okay, no, that aside, she goes downstairs. She gets to the top of the stairs right at the moment where Rarity is passing out party favors, and somebody said, yeah, couldn't have shown up. Second after this, she shows up when somebody says, "Who needs a birthday girl when you've got the birthday girl's amazing older sister?" Appreciate your choice of words there. You know, I might have gone with like, well, if Sweetie Belle's at the top of the stairs right now, she should feel forever and for always that Rarity will always upstage her. She should be incredibly jealous and feel like there's no reason to come out of her room ever again. But, okay, me being overly smug aside, I will say that, okay, even after all that, the new Sweetie Belle, she's not necessarily a bad character. I mean, they do sort of weave in more character traits from her. They do explore her a little bit, just even in little touches, like the three Crusaders on a train to catch up with Rarity after the dreams are over, and yeah, Sweetie Belle mentioning that she doesn't know any of Sapphire Shore's pop tunes, even though her two friends love them to death, and she says that she prefers show tunes, which, and sheepishly she says that, but I mean, that's kind of interesting because we know Sweetie Belle used to be able, well, she likes to sing, whether she still can remains to be seen, but yeah, stuff like that sort of hints at what kind of a character she is, and I mean, there are points that work with her, and I mean, the arc she gets, I mean, I guess for all intents and purposes it's sound, but I mean, there's just a lot not to like about her this time around. So yeah, and then on top of that, it's just really hard to ignore how she doesn't feel like the same character this time around. I mean, even when she's doing things that are characteristic of Sweetie Belle, that we've seen her do before, like helping Rarity prepare and just being really eager to please, even then, it just feels a few degrees off. Just like they're, I don't know, it feels more like needy or frantic somehow, and I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm reading in too deep, but yeah, that's just the impression I got. So, okay, that's the bad news. The good news is that Luna is still great, because I mean, yeah, the coming into the dream to help Sweetie Belle, I mean, that's still every bit as awesome as when she did it with Scootaloo, and this time, yeah, they like really go all out with it, just with the visuals and yeah, wandering in and out of different dreams, and yeah, having when it turns into a nightmare, just having the enlarged images and also the Rarity storm cloud from before, and yeah, how Sweetie Belle flies into Rarity's sobbing mouth at one point, just demented and stuff. But okay, they really go all out with the visuals. Actually, the costumes is the best part. Might actually be kind of appropriate here, just yeah, how they dress it up. But anyway, but no, but that's not all there is to it though, because yeah, Luna, once again, she is very lovable, just yeah, doing all this work to doing her part to help out in her own way, to yeah, mentor the little girls, and so just anything she can do to help, even though we know that she's not the wiser sister, but yeah, she is, I guess, in her own way, like every bit as sincere as Celestia, and I mean, yeah, just how she's everything we've seen her do since yeah, episode 1 is Nightmare Moon, how she, when she shows up, that is, to just yeah, redeem herself and help out any way she can. I mean, it really just works every time, and especially here when she says that, when she brings up that yeah, she also is upstaged by her sister a lot. You really feel for her in that moment, and that also, at least to me, kind of made me say like, now it makes sense what they were trying to do with Sweetie Belle here, how they, yeah, that kind of makes it come together. That yeah, they wanted to connect Luna's downfall, becoming Nightmare Moon, you know, getting jealous of her sister. Yeah, they wanted to connect that to one of the Cutie Mark Crusaders and their big sisters. So it's like, okay, that's why they're trying to turn this into something it never was before with Sweetie Belle and Rarity. And okay, and I mean, yeah, okay, they ran into a problem there, that it's just not a perfect match. There is no, it's not really a match at all, because, okay, none of the sister relationships really were like that, all that, at least, not prominently before now, so I could have almost bought it as much from, with Apple Bloom and Applejack, if that had been the comparison. Applejack, even though we know that they get along even better, and the Applejack always having to be in charge, and Apple Bloom wanting to be independent. I could see Apple Bloom feeling like she was upstaged by Applejack one day. So at the same time, apart from the fact that Apple Bloom already had an episode, I still see why it kind of had to be Rarity and Sweetie Belle, because Rarity is the one who always tries to impress and who is very good at it. But I mean, well, actually, I could have seen it working, like I said, if they'd started at square one and explored Sweetie Belle growing jealous of Rarity, from the ground up. Just if she had the emotion for the first time and had it fester until she felt like she needed to, bring Rarity down to size. I mean, then I think it could have worked. But I mean, just when you throw in something that just wasn't there before, it stands out. It's hard not to notice. So, okay, but even so, I mean, it really makes you feel for Luna. It's still a cool comparison. So, okay, Luna, I think, really gets the job done. She adds a lot of qualities that are above and beyond in this episode. And then the ending sequence is really fun too, with the chase scene, how Sweetie Belle, by ziplining again, that might have paid off after all. The Crusaders, they can't get into the building Rarity has gone to meet Sapphire Shores, because there's a security guard, so they zip line in, and Sweetie Belle at the last second grabs the box, making any excuse she can think of. You've got to see this with a crimson or a cinnamon ribbon, whatever it was. You'll love it. And this chase all over the place. The Crusaders, running up a flight of stairs and then dropping it back down to the other one to get away from Rarity, and then Luna making a surprise appearance and to make the save. And I did notice that Luna doesn't really sound like she. I mean, she's using her Fluttershy voice again. It's like in the dream, she's she makes an impression, but it's now she didn't show up in person with Scootaloo before she does with Sweetie Belle, and she talks a little more like she's a little more at ease. So it's like a special relationship between the two of them now. But anyway, so she makes the save. She to make Sapphire Shores accept the costume even after this interruption. She makes the stitching in the shape of a dolphin, which is her lucky animal, and then then they end on the scene too with the sisters reconciling, and Sapphire Shores praising them, or praising Rarity, I guess, and Rarity praising Sweetie Belle, while Luna is just off to the side in the shadows, just a good deed done, and only Sweetie Belle knows about it. But I mean, that's you really gotta like Luna, just how she is the sort of underappreciated figure who at the same time is probably where she needs to be. Just like, maybe, I mean, you can see her not being ready for the spotlight again. But alright, so that really liked that. And and then the bit that really makes Sweetie Belle's characterization for me this time around, I said there were moments where she was good, but in spite of everything, but no, the one that really makes me say that, okay, despite all the problems I had, she was not poorly done, was the bit right at the end where Rarity tries to make nice with her and asks her if she'll perform the play again, so Rarity can see it, because she didn't get to see the first one because she was so busy with Sapphire Shore's costume. And Sweetie Belle says, you know what, it wasn't all that good. To be honest, the costumes were the best part. And that moment, it's like, whoa, it feels actually very big of her, like a very big step. And I mean, it's a moment where you actually admire her character, because I mean, after all the emphasis the show placed on how much the play meant to her, and just everything we've seen her go through, for her to give Rarity her due like that just feels very big of her and just like a very big step of growth for her. Where I mean, well, it might even be a little harsh on her part because I mean she did get a standing ovation. You know, costumes, they weren't enough for Ed Wood by themselves, but yeah. So, but even so, you know, to just be able to accept that, okay, yeah, maybe all that hard work, it didn't pay off quite like she wanted to, you know, to be able to give Rarity her due, it's, wow, that, I mean, like, okay, even if they are taking Sweetie Belle in a new direction, it might at least not be a bad one, so, okay, there's that. But I'm gonna have to slide Scootaloo into first place because, yeah, Sweetie Belle, it's gonna take more than this. I mean, I'm gonna miss the old Sweetie Belle for as long as she's gone, however long that's gonna be. But yeah, Scootaloo, who was right up there with her before, and she bested her characterization this season and her episode. Because yeah, I do like Flight to the Finish better than this one, it must be said. You know, I thought Flight to the Finish was close to great, and this one was not. I mean, it fell short in a few different areas, but in spite of that, I do still like this one. I think it's good. I thought that, you know, there was a lot of moments here that just were worth showing up for by themselves that, yeah, we haven't really gotten before. The stuff with Princess Luna, that was very distinct, and, you know, gave this episode sort of a unique feel, and in spite of how much better I thought it could have been if they'd managed to make Sweetie Belle still my favorite Crusader, she still was not done like poorly. She wasn't, the episode didn't collapse under the structure of her character this time around. So yeah, that, like, her arc, it just managed to carry everything without, you know, letting us down. So, alright, I think that, yeah, overall this episode is a good one, and yeah, I know some of you were hoping that I'd like it a little better than that, because, yeah, Sweetie Belle was my favorite Crusader and all that, but, well, even so, yeah, not even close to a negative vote. This is still, like, if I'd gotten to this one at the beginning of this season where I was saying that most of them were okay or less, then yeah, this one probably would have been a big high point, but so even so, it's still pretty good. And the next one is Leap of Faith, so take care, see you there.
That's my lucky animal! They swim with me in my dreams.
Ain't nothing like singing. Looking for the right key. Oh, let's make music together, baby. 'Cause only music makes a man free.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, send it to your enemies. And if you'd like to see more, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or one of the other links down in the description. We're still getting the ball rolling on that, so every one of you counts. Thanks for watching.